Okay, guys, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to go ahead and go over these ideas, how to read strings from the Arduino, on our computer or whatever platform you're using. We're going to go over what is a string, how to change the case of the string, what these things do, string.toUp or string.lower. These are how to compare a string, so we're going to use those. And this is how to read the string from the serial. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I want you to do is just go ahead and make these variables. So these right here, these are weird. These are called state variables. And what they do is they remember the state of a light. So they'll remember the state, okay? This is a temporary variable called room. This thing's going to get reset every iteration of loop. You guys already know what the button pin does, an LED pin, and the green LED pin. The only thing that's new is the state variables, okay? And so let's go ahead and do our pin modes. So our pin modes are input for the button and output for the LEDs, like always. And go ahead and begin your serial so you could start receiving and sending data from there. Okay, you guys can go ahead and pause the video if you need to, and just copy these variables down. We're going to go ahead and start coding it. Okay. So the three main steps we have here are, you don't really need this because this is sort of obvious. Step one is reset the room variable. We're going to read the button to see if the user pressed it, and then we're going to write the logic to change the state of a room. Okay, so let's go ahead and just do this first. This will reset our room. Okay. The next thing we want to do is let's go ahead and say serial.println, enter red room to turn on or off the light. Okay, and this will just let the user know, hey, what are we doing here? Okay, and we're going to go while serial.available, that means the user hasn't typed in anything, equals 0. And we could just do this. This is basically just pauses the program. You could put this on the next line if you want. Doesn't really matter. If you do this, it just makes it a little easier to read. This will just pause and wait. It'll wait for the user to enter the number or a letter or a word or whatever. So in our case, we're going to do this. Room is going to equal serial.read string. Now the only thing we have to do is we have to make sure this stuff here, right? We're actually only going to do this if what happens? When are we going to do this? We're only going to do this if there's a button press. So let's go ahead and do int button state equals digital read button pin. Okay, and again, we're only going to do all this stuff. I'm going to take all this. I'm just going to hit tab to bring it over a little bit, a few times. And I'm going to say this. If button state is equal to 0. This means the user pressed the button. We're going to go ahead and do all this stuff, okay? We're going to just ignore this in the loop if the user didn't press anything. Okay, so that's that. Now that we have all this, let's go ahead and do this. Now we're going to go ahead and put our room logic, okay? So how does that work? Well, let's first test to see if the room is on. Let's test to see if room dot equals, let's do this first. Room dot to lowercase. So what this will do, turns the string into all lowercase letters, so we don't have to worry about the case. So we're going to say if room dot equals red room, this means that we're inside of the, they typed in red room. So what happened so far? They hit the button. Okay, they hit the button. So we went into this code, and we waited for the serial. We waited for them to type in something, and then when they typed in something, we stored it in room, and then we turned the room all the lowercase. You could verify this later in your code if you want to debug it and do this. Just to verify that it's all lowercase. And then we say if room.equals red room. Again, remember it's all lowercase here because we turned it all lowercase. So now we're inside. They typed in red room. So we're going to say if, remember we went up here and we put red room and green room are off. So we're going to say if red room dot equals off. Now we're in the off part. So this is the off part. So they click the button, they put red room and it's off. So if it's off, we want to turn it on. So we want to say red room equals on. And then let's turn the light on. So digital right, LED pin, red LED pin, high. So what this will do is it'll go ahead and turn that on. Okay, so the other condition is else if red room dot equals off, on rather. So what do we want to do if it's on? Well, if it's on, we want to do this. No. We want to say this. We want to say red room equals off. So if it's on, again, if it's off, we're going to turn it on. And if it's on, we want to turn it off. If they type it in twice. And we want to say digital right, red LED pin, low. And this will turn it off. So now it's off. So we've said the red room is off, and we turn the light to off. Good. So if they type in red room again, it's going to do this. It's off. Okay? So we're going to turn it on and turn the red room on. Then if they type in red room again, it'll be off. I mean, it'll be on. So it'll do on. Right? We have a little issue, though. I forgot one here. Okay? And I forgot one here. The reason why is these have to be balanced. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Beautiful. They're balanced. Okay? Now, you could do something like this if you really want. You could say that to uppercase if you want to see what they do, but they pretty much do the same thing. So now that we have all our logic, let's see if we close everything right. Okay? So let's see what this goes to. Okay, this closes this. And what does this close? This closes this. Good. And I don't see anything closing this guy. Let's see. Is there anything closing that guy? Nope. Let's go ahead and close that. So we're going to bring this guy up. Okay. And what I like to do is I'm going to hit tab, tab. And I'm going to bring that over just a little bit. Okay. Let's go ahead and upload this to our Arduino. So I have a little issue here. I always forget this. I don't know why I always forget that. Okay. And where else? And I forgot a semicolon. That's just me being careless. Okay, so now that I have that all worked out, let's go ahead and open up our serial monitor. And let's go ahead and make sure that you have no line ending in 9600 baud. So enter red room, turn light on or off. So we're going to go red room. And you'll notice it turned it all into lowercase red room. So now if you look at your Arduino, the light is on, which is pretty cool. So what we just did was we said, well, it was off because we started it right up here as off. We started red room as off. So what happens? We hit the button. Boom, we hit the button. The button state was 0. We went ahead and we printed this out. We waited. And then we read the string, red room, right? And then we went ahead and we read the string from up here and we printed it out just so you could see what it looks like. And then we say if room equals red room and the red room is off, turn it on, which we did. Turn it on high. Else if it's on, we turn it off. So let's go ahead and do it again. And we'll put in red room. Notice it's all capital here. So you'll notice the light turns off and it turns it all to lowercase. So that's how states work. So we could permanently save the state of a light so the program knows. So what you guys are going to do on your own, I'm going to write this up. You're going to do it with 2 other lights, okay? And then you're going to have one where it's like turn all 3 on, turn all 3 off. So I'm going to write that up. But hopefully you understand states and you understand what all these things do. We use 2 lower, but you could just as easily use 2 upper. Equals is the same as equals ignore case, except it'll just ignore the case. When you're comparing strings, you cannot use double equals. It will not work, okay? And a read string works similar to what we used up here, parse int. Except what that does is that reads a string and doesn't parse an integer. So again, we've used both now, so you get a pretty good idea of how this all works. I hope you found this helpful and you're able to successfully complete the activities.